And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to race number 21 of Season 5 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. After today, only 5 more stops. Then the chase field is locked, and we begin a 10-race segment to find out who is going to be the Season 6, or Season 5, rather. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Snickers Cup Series champ, as well as we'll find out the Trucks and Mobile One Cup Series champions as well at the season finale at Zenjoltis. But today we're getting ready for the running of the Dunkin' Donuts 400 here at Kansas, a 27-lap event with Adam Chambers sitting on the pole. He knows something about winning the Snickers Cup Series championship. He did it back in Season 2. He lines up alongside of two-time winner this season, James McLeod, who actually, after a pretty dismal finish last week at Richmond, has now, for the first time this season, I believe, fallen outside of the top 10 in points. McLeod, a two-time winner this season after winning the Daytona 500 and then winning later on at Darlington. He's now possibly going to be relying on a wild card spot, but he still has a chance to move himself back into the top 10 in points within the next 6 races. P2 London lines up on the inside of row number 2, 26th in points, still mathematically eligible to get himself into the top 10 in the standings, but obviously he's still trying to get that victory. We'll see if he can do it here today. Alongside of him, brand new colors for the Richard Childress Racing number 27 of Rohit Vidaravu, driving the AOL colors, very similar to the one that I believe Johnny Sauter, Jeff Green, they all used to drive. And it fails me as to what year that was. That may have been back in 2000, 2001. I don't really remember. But nonetheless, pretty flashy looking paint scheme there on that number 27. Maybe he can put it in victory lane and put that 27 car in victory lane for the 3rd time this season as he comes in 22nd in points with 2 victories. We'll see what maybe he can do here today. We're going to have a possible battle for the points lead here today. Dylan Poteet, who is actually rolling off from position number 10 today, he comes in with an 8-point advantage over 3-time winner this season and rookie points leader John Cittadino. We know that Poteet, Cittadino, Hayden Klein, all 3 of those drivers ended up having problems last week at Richmond. Kind of kept them all around the same vicinity, though, as Hayden Klein comes in 3rd in points, only 10 points out of the top spot. We'll see if that points battle is going to heat up today between Poteet, Cittadino, and Klein. Anthony McCrory comes in 4th in points. He is 41 points back, so he probably won't be any contender for the points lead here today. But Sean Henley, we were talking about him. He's now got, instead of the streak of 5 top 5, he's now got at least 6 top 10s, all consecutive coming into today's race as he finished very well last week at Richmond. He comes in 5th in the points, 47 points out of the points lead. Very good run for him right now. See if he can keep up that momentum as we're got the command to fire up these engines. They're going to roll off, complete a couple pace laps. While they do that, we will show you your starting grid for today's race, the Dunkin' Donuts 400 here at Kansas Speedway. Well, our Truck Series winner, Trent Dunham, he is in this field, making his return here to the Snickers Cup Series in that number 1 Sega Strong Chevrolet for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. Our Mobile One Cup Series winner, Joseph Bryan, only runs in Mobile One Cup Series competition, so he's not here to try and go 2 for 3 this race weekend, but we're going to have to see what's going to happen here at the end of 27 laps. Chambers, McLeod, London, Vidaravu, then Galligan and Aaron Williams Jr. That's the top 6 as the green flag gets ready to come out. And there it is, the Dunkin' Donuts 400 is underway. Chambers going to very quickly move up to the high side to block Jace McLeod coming to his inside, but he almost had P2 London get down to the bottom there. as London is going to come right up on the back bumper of the STP Dodge out of the Everham Motorsports stables. Whoa! That was a weird glitch. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Chambers the leader, though. London second. Apparently it didn't do anything as far as the playing of this, so that's good. As there's a good battle back on for third right now. Rohit Vidarbhu has it. Side by side now between Sean Galligan and James McLeod. That is for fourth. Comes Richard Johnson into the picture, along with Austin Ogo and Derek Reed. And the caution is out for the first time today here at Kansas. Looks like Pichu London pretty content to ride behind Adam Chambers right now, not really forcing the issue at all. So Chambers will lead us under our first caution of the day. London will be second. Then it's Vidarbhu, Galligan, and McLeod. That's going to be the top five, as the caution is going to come out for, looks like, Jake Rogers. The Dr. Pepper Toyota out of BK Racing appears to have some damage. James Silverfox is also damaged there in the 7. Danny Wells has got damage. This is the second straight week Danny Wells has been involved in the first caution. Look further up here. Charles Jackson, I don't know if he's got any damage or not. Jake Cole's down low. He may not have any damage, though, either. For the most part, it looks like only a 3-car incident. Oh, spoke too soon. There is damage to third in points, Hayden Klein. The Autism Speaks Toyota Camry out of Joe Gibbs Racing does have some pretty extensive damage on both the right and left sides of his Toyota, as he's going to come down pit road. So that's a tough break there for a driver who comes in running inside the top 5 in points. Danny Wells apparently not coming down pit road, so he apparently is good to go. You know, he does have a little bit of a buckle on the front of that 31. But he already lost some spots in the standings after a dead last finish at Richmond. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose any more here today. He's currently 7th in points. And Jake Rogers looks like he's already completed his service on pit road. He's going to leave pit road there. Car looks relatively the same, but nonetheless, we got a caution. Let's take a look and see what put us under the yellow for the first time here today at Kansas. Well, here's a look. They went 3 wide back here. This was somewhere around a battle for 25th place, I believe. Dylan Young going to get really loose into this corner. He goes up into Rogers. Rogers then goes up into Danny Wells. It's just a byproduct of one car getting loose up into another car, and that domino effect takes place. Poor Danny Wells had absolutely nowhere to go as Jake Rogers goes around there, and then apparently something with Hayden Klein takes place a little bit later or a little bit earlier, because he was not involved in this. Oh, there's James Silverfox. This must have been an incident heading into turn 3. Let's watch this. Hayden Klein side by side with his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Waidos of Otas, and oh, wait a minute. Yep, right there. We saw this happen in Mobile Cup Series too. Silverfox does a turning of the 18 up into Hayden Klein. George Roque there in the 55 also going to get a piece of that. And Hayden Klein, there you can see why he had damage to both the left and right sides of his 11 as he got squeezed and sandwiched up into the wall. And, you know, I believe it might have been James King yesterday who ended up turning a car into turn 3 in the right rear. And that was a rookie mistake there. Well, that's James Silverfox, a rookie in this series, making that mistake. So apparently, these rookies are having trouble not realizing you cannot get into the back of somebody heading into the corner, especially here at Kansas, or else this is going to be the result. And so that ended up being a caution that followed the initial caution that came out, and it involved Hayden Klein, who comes in running very well in the standings. Lights are out atop the Dodge Charger base car. Means we'll go back to green flag racing here on lap number 7 of 27. Adam Chambers still out in front. He's looking to give Everham Motorsports their first win of the season. Pichu London lines up in second. Vidarbhu in third. Fourth is going to be Sean Galligan. James McLeod fifth. Sixth is Richard Johnson. Austin Ogo seventh. Derek Reed eighth. Ninth is now Matthew Rodriguez, with Aaron Williams Jr. completing the top 10. The points leader Dylan Pote currently is in 11th. 12th is Jeffrey Buckeye. Waidos of Otas 13th. 14th is Alex DeMarco. Mary Cole 15th. John Citadino's now worked his way up to 16th. 17th is Eric Burton. Jacob Lawler 18th. Emilio Navarrete runs in 19th. And Dylan Young is going to complete the top 20. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Trying to see if any drivers did actually retire. Jake Rogers is going to be a lap down there on the inside line. And he is the only car that is off the lead lap. Nobody retiring after the incidents that took place here on lap number 2. So 42 cars coming down to get the green flag. 41 of them on the lead lap. Adam Chambers going to lead us one more time as the green flag comes back out. Looks like the lap car of Jake Rogers will be no problem for the leaders to get around. Everybody being able to get by his slower Dr. Pepper Toyota. And Chambers got himself a good restart. Opened about 3 car lengths between himself and Pichu London. Pichu London now got to go back on the offensive and try and run down that Dodge. Rohit Vidaravu, he's now moved into 3rd. That's where he started this restart. James McLeod, though, used that slower car of Jake Rogers to his advantage. Was able to get by Sean Galligan for 4th. Galligan has now slipped back to 5th place. Ogo now up to 6th. 7th place now is Richard Johnson. Then you got Derek Reed, Aaron Williams Jr., and Matthew Rodriguez has now moved his way up here into the top 10. A few drivers up here in the top 10 who could move into the top 10 in points. Matt Rudd being one of them, 13th in the standings right now. Behind Mary Cole, he is only 8 points. So he has an opportunity to get in the top 10. There's another driver who's trying to get himself into the top 10 in points. That's Aaron Williams Jr., 20th in the point standings. That's certainly a lot better than where he was at the beginning of the season when he was mired down around 33rd, 34th in the standings. He's been very consistent lately, and he still mathematically has a chance with these consecutive runs he's been having to possibly get himself into the chase for the championship. There's Richard Johnson, 23rd in points. He's still mathematically got an opportunity. He is a winner this season as well. He won at Atlanta, so he may end up, if he could win another race here within the next 6 races, he could get himself a possible wild card position as well. He currently is only 1 position behind Rohit Vidaravu, who is a 2-time winner, so he'd obviously like to get ahead of Vidaravu if indeed he does pick up a second victory this season. Just up ahead of him, rookie Austin Ogo, 6th right now on the racetrack, 19th in points. He really took a hard hit in the standings after last week at Richmond at Ogo. He was up there within striking distance of maybe getting inside the top 10 in points if he had a good enough run last week, but just did not happen. And Austin Ogo right now trying to get himself back on the right track as he's currently running inside the top 10. There is James McLeod. We talked about him for what I believe is the first time of the season, falling outside of the top 10 in points. McLeod comes into this race right now 16th in the standings, but a very, very nice run for him today, as he could possibly pick up his 3rd win of the season here today at Kansas. And if so, that would tie him with John Cittadino for most Snickers Cup Series wins here this season. There's Rohit Vidaravu. Talked about him being a 2-time winner this season. Very nice run for him. You know, he's really overcome a lot of adversity this season. Despite his 2 wins, he's not had a whole lot of luck come his way, and still he's inside the top 25 in points. He's 22nd currently in the standings and still mathematically eligible to get into the top 10 in points. However, right now he's sitting very pretty with those 2 wins. He could end up very easily getting into the chase with a wild card spot. There is Pichu London up ahead. He is 26th in points. As I said at the top of the program, he's still mathematically eligible to get into the chase, but as I said before too, he wants to pick up that victory there for Michael Waltrip Racing. And there is Adam Chambers, who comes into this race currently 17th in points. Adam Chambers with an opportunity today, if he wins this race, or even if he gets a top 5, he can move himself up in the points. Chambers may be poised and ready to try and get himself into the championship hunt. Tell you, he and his rookie teammate Zach Campbell for Everham Motorsports, they both have really been turning up the wick here as far as good finishes. Campbell's actually 11th in points. Let's find out where the 9 is running. He's been doing a great job the last few weeks, and he's currently running back here in 21st position, right behind a battle between Sean Henley and Waido Savotas. But now 20th place is actually being scored. Zach Campbell comes into this race 11th in the standings, and Zach Campbell, guys, was a guy who was down outside the top 30 for a majority of this season. Just shows you how close these point standings are. and how easily a driver can pick up spots in the standings within 1 week of a good finish. There is Henley, trying to continue on his streak of top 10 finishes now. We know he has at least 6. The last 5 events, or the last 6 events, he's had a finish no worse than 7th place. He's currently in 18th place right now. He's got about 12 more laps to pick up some spots to get inside the top 10. It could happen though. Sean Henley, very strong right now. He was able to get by Widos Devotas for position. He's now going to set his sights on Cole Daly and Dylan Young. Let's talk about these two guys. These two guys have really been having some pretty hard luck coming their way. Both these Fords. Cole Daly, for a majority of this season, was up inside, I believe, the top 5 in points. He was up there battling for the points lead. Things have just not been going the way of that 17 car at all in the last few weeks. He slipped all the way down to 15th in points as our winner from Las Vegas. Just up ahead of him, Dylan Young, currently running 16th. He is currently 12th in points, but things have not really been going his way the last few weeks either. He's trying to get himself back inside the top 10 in the standings. There's John Citadino. He's currently worked his way up now to 13th on the racetrack, right behind Mary Cole. Citadino, as we said, battling with Dylan Poteet for the points lead possibly today. Citadino runs in 13th place. Where is Dylan Poteet currently running? 39th? Whoa! What happened in 78? He and Charles Jackson, 2 drivers inside the top 10. Way back here at the back of the pack. I don't know what happened to either of them, but something did. And that's not good for those guys. Right now, John Citadino, according to our live scoring, is the current points leader, and Dylan Poteet is mired all the way back in 39th place. There is no visible damage on his race car, nor is there visible damage on Charles Jackson, who's running right behind his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate there, Hayden Klein, who we know did get some damage from that caution that we had. But apparently he is up to speed, but I don't know. This is really bad because Klein comes in 3rd in points, Jackson 9th, and Dylan Poteet comes in as the points leader. They're all running back here outside the top 35. This is not good for Dylan Poteet. There's Anthony McCrory, 4th in the points. He's now in a big hornet's nest here, trying to get by Joshua Michaels. He just got by Barney Ward. Now he's looking to the inside of Trent Dunham. McCrory now starting to make his moves here. 2-time winner this season. His latest win, of course, coming at the fuel mileage finish at Daytona. And they're going to split McCrory 3 wide. Oh, now they're getting racy back here. This is some good, hard racing. Davis there. McCrory. Oh! Oh, I thought so. Mason, Callum Wales, Dollerton, Michaels, and Walsh all get together. Oh, Danny Wells just jacked up Joshua Michaels. And Jake Rogers! Oh, boy. That was not good, and I thought I saw that start. Someone turned the Joshua Michaels machine. And the leader is still going to be Chambers with a total of 5 laps to go, which means we should get back to green. Whether it be a green-white checkered or not will remain to be seen, but for only the 2nd time today, the caution flag is going to fly here at Kansas. Let's take a look and see what happened. See if we can find out what happened here. Joshua Michaels running on the extreme high line. They were 3 wide, and coming off turn 4, we see 3 wide is usually not a good idea. Sometimes they can keep it together, but apparently now was not one of those times. And who is going to be the one to make the contact is the question. Looks like it was Dollerton. I thought maybe he would get some help from Jake Cole, but nope, Dollerton does the turning of the 10. And boy, Tim Walsh just got clipped there in the right rear. He almost got through right up into Ralph Mason, who had nowhere to go. Callum Wales, he's just in a box there. He's going to have absolutely nowhere to turn. He gets smashed up against the wall. And there's some pretty good drivers right there, too. This was back just around, as I said, the 30th position. And then watch right here. Silver Fox, I think he sideswipes Ralph Mason. I don't know how much damage he got. But then here comes Danny Wells. And oh my goodness, full speed. And look at the air the 10 car gets. That was a hard impact for both Danny Wells and Joshua Michaels. And Danny Wells, who had been involved in the first caution of the day, was just trying to slip his way through to pick up some spots. Apparently that was not going to be the case, though. Danny Wells, second straight week that hardships hit that 31 team. As we're going to get ready to go back to green, let's do a little onboards, though. On board with Joshua Michaels. Watch the contact between himself and Chris Dollerton. Right there. Oh, man, and then there's the hit from Danny Wells. Right on target, dead center. And with that kind of a hit, I must say I'm relatively surprised that Joshua Michaels was able to drive away from that. Danny Wells, though, looks like he's already taken his car back behind the wall. Second straight week of hardships for that 31 team. Gearing up for a one-lap shootout to decide today's race here at Kansas. Adam Chambers, the leader. Second is Pichu London. Rohit Vidar third. James McLeod fourth. Sean Gallion fifth. It's basically been that way ever since we got on that restart on lap number 6. So these drivers up here in the top 5, they may be the ones to settle it. I told you Joshua Michaels drove away from that incident. When I was listening further to his onboard camera, I could hear a sputtering in that car. Apparently his car was not at all up to speed or at all at 100% after that impact with Danny Wells. It was enough to send him back behind the wall along with Ralph Mason, Callum Wales, and for the second straight week, Danny Wells got to finish dead last. That's a hard, very difficult finish for Danny Wells. Comes into this race 7th in the standings. A lot of drivers not having real good luck this week here at Kansas that are running well in points. We'll document you on them in just a moment. So we're going to give you the top 10 here. Back from Galligan, it's Austin Ogo, Richard Johnson, Derek Reed, Aaron Williams Jr., and now Alex DeMarco has moved himself up into the top 10. As here we go. White flag ready to come out. Here we go. Green flag, white flag, one-lap shootout. London peeks to the outside. That may not be the best move. Darvu now maybe trying to stick it down to the bottom for second. Yes, he is. He's going for second place. He may have thoughts for the lead here on the back straightaway as he starts to close in on the 43. Adam Chambers trying to pick up his first Snickers Cup Series win of the season. And the first of the season for Everham Motorsports as he has 3 car lengths advantage between himself and Roy Vidarvu. Adam Chambers dominates here today. I don't think he lost the lead even once out of turn 4 for the final time. The Dunkin' Donuts 400 belongs to Adam Chambers at Kansas. Adam Chambers and that 43 finally go to victory lane. Adam Chambers and Ray Everham Motorsports finally go to victory lane. A great win for Dodge as they continue on here in the NNSCRA. They had to go to a 3-car team, but they finally find victory lane here today in the form of the Season 2 Snickers Cup Series champ, Adam Chambers. Veydarvu going to get second, it looks like. A great runner-up spot for him. Pichu London third, Galligan fourth, and McLeod is going to finish today inside the top 5 in 5th place. So a great run there for Adam Chambers. Let's take a look at our official top 10. We gave you back through Galligan. Oh, wait, no. Looks like McLeod actually going to finish 4th. He got Galligan at the line, apparently. Galligan is going to end up finishing 5th. Austin Ogo in 6th. 7th place was Richard Johnson. Aaron Williams Jr. going to finish in the top 10 in 8th. Derek Reed's going to get 9th. And 10th place is going to be Matthew Rodriguez. I believe that's the second straight top 10 finish for Derek Reed in that 13 team. So very nice run for them. The points battle. What's it going to look like? Dylan Poteet officially finishes today in the 36th position. Hayden Klein finishing no better in 34th place. So in order for Johnson Adino to be the points leader heading into next week, he only had to finish in 28th or better. Where did Sid Adino finish today's event? 14th place. So Johnson Adino is going to take the points lead back from Dylan Poteet now in the Snickers Cup Series standings. The 3-time winner will now be the points leader heading into the right-hander at Watkins Glen next week. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today, Adam Chambers with a victory today very easily could move himself up inside the top 15 in points and also have an opportunity to move himself inside the top 10 in points next week. We'll have to see what happens, as here comes your official results, your official rookie and overall point standings. As you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Wrestling at its best, Adam Chambers goes back to victory lane here in the Snickers Cup Series at Kansas.